Hey gang, good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's just check my mic is all working and then we can close this window. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, Woody. Thank you for the big kitty. Yeah, we're back in Cities 2 because I keep saying about playing Cities 1 with crowd control and then I just fancy building the city. So we're just going to keep building this. Hiya, how are you, Woody? How are you doing? Moved some of my OBS around. I'm just gonna, don't really like it, so I'm just gonna keep moving it. So I get a layout I'm happy with. There we go. How are you doing, Woody? Playing Cities 2 on the other screen as well. Awesome. Yeah, so this is exactly where we left it on Friday. What kind of city are you building? I'm sure you've told me before. I can't remember though. I'm really sorry. Okay, what are you building? What are we doing? So I put in that there just quickly. Did I leave that? Oh yeah, because I was going to put in, extend this down one time. That's what Manhattan inspired. That's what it was, wasn't it? Yeah, so I put these trees in possibly wrongly. But yeah, we are just going to keep building today, guys. So I'm just going to jump right into it. I'm desperate for the DLC. I'm desperately excited. But I hope you've had a nice weekend as well, Woody. Hope it's been good. Off to a barbecue later. Got make another one that's up to 500k, but it got messy. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta start again. Few too many things to fix. What's going on there, game? I'm gonna take this opportunity to put in a different surface. Which I think is this one. I'm just gonna extend this ballasting, or what do you call it? I think gravelly border. Maybe here. But yeah, I've had a good weekend. It's been very sunny. Psyching myself up for the family barbecue later. Which was my idea, so brought that up myself. Let's go to there. I love a little bit of watching the stream whilst playing. It's literally what I do every single day. Here we go, and then we can just nudge this over. That's a little bit annoying. Do I care about that? Because once we put trees in, it's not going to be noticeable. kind of one of those little things you go, ooh, it's a quirk. It's kind of bugging me. We might just say very sorry to these people. But they're basically moving here. And then we're gonna say sorry to these folks. I was not loving it. Yeah, that's better. And then we'll do our usual thing of putting a row of trees in. There's a couple of things I would like to look at today, which is adding some more buildings into our high-rise area that we've got in the harbour area. And I'm very tempted to either build another bus station on the other side of town, or think about even putting subways in, which is a crazy idea. I kind of did it the wrong way around, but oh, it's supposed to be this first. So it blends the line in. A little bit. Obviously we're getting some trees on the tracks, which is not necessarily what I want. And then we come back in with this. Shrink the brush down a tad, just to make it a little bit more accurate. And then just casually delete these ones. But yeah, so we've got, that looks nice, we like that. We have got our bus station obviously over here. But I am worried that this is going to get increasingly more busy if we keep adding to it. And as we keep adding to this city and stuff, because my kind of plan is to actually, all this low density could perhaps become high density at some point in certain areas, which is a lot more people on the island. So what I'm thinking is we have a little bus station over here that's servicing this industrial area. But these industrial routes aren't really the most utilised thing in the world. I recently learned you can actually click that. They're not the most utilised thing in the world. So I'm thinking is we could have the same style, what I would call a park and ride in the UK, with a bus station and such on this side of the map somewhere, and then the buses would then come into the city and go around the little loopy bits and come back to that, and then this one over here would be doing the same thing. It kind of splits those bus routes in two, potentially, or the people using them in two. And the other thing is then, if we did put in a subway system that could just loop around this island, that would manage all of the people that might be coming out onto the bus station and then back in on a different bus. It might just be shortcut that a little bit for them. Then it just becomes, how do we get a subway in? Because I haven't actually built a subway in CS2 before, which is very surprising. I'm looking at this area that could be quite good to see if we could get a subway thingy bobber in. Rail yard type thing. See how big it is. I imagine it's going to be large. Ooh, not that big. That will probably do. Now, do we put that here with the idea that it then has to kind of cross over to get to that? Or does it have its own way into the city? Just trying to think about where we could put our bus station, our bigger bus thingy bob. I've already got this, which is kind of allocated for putting a bridge in to come over there, like that. I'm wondering whether it could come into here. Just thinking out loud, chat, don't mind me. I'm wondering whether at the minute I can put in a bridge so that I know where it's going to go. We need to see where that is, because that is going to be the issue that we have. Is getting this bridge, which is obviously too short at the minute, so don't worry about that, but getting that to come over here. Again, I really want bridges and walls. To be very high. Don't even know if we can get across in this angle. Really? 40 meters? just excessive game. Jeez. I'm going to go with 40 and we're going to anni it in. Which is probably going to be too short, but we perfectly have a boat coming along. Right on time. Just wait for them to get under the bridge. Thank you kindly. Ooh, it's going to be quite high. That's quite high. But then this bridge can then try and get it to actually be the right level. Where are we at? We are at 52. I'm tempted to switch it to be like that. Lol. That feels very high. How high did we come over here? We're only at 10 here. Maybe that's a better height to come across this island with. That. And what we could actually do is all the way back up again. What's the slope on that if we do that? Down to 10. Thank you. 5.5, so we'll probably just do that then. That's actually probably just going to get reduced to that. And then this becomes like so, and that is an 8.5, so that's a bit steeper. Considering putting an extra span or two, like that. But that is then a bridge which will connect across there at some point, and we have the capacity then also to hook into here if we felt like it. In terms of buses though, and an actual kind of bus area, I'm wondering whether that should have its own little turn off. Little trumpet interchange. Something like that comes halfway in the middle or something. there or something, isn't it? And this way we have a little bit of a gap for them to sort out their merging. It's a little bit lumpy. Let's demolish that a sec, and we will casually flatten this a tad. Just so that we can have a little pad here or something to work with. I'm thinking also that this could potentially, depending on what assets we get with the bridges and ports thing, have some kind of ferry or just a normal box standard harbour on here. And that could be another little way of people getting into the city perhaps. Even we could end up like putting a harbour here and having a boat that goes all the way down here or something. It's a little pleasure cruise. Where was I? Here I was. And I kind of want to put keys in, but I'm also interested to see what we would get with the DLC once it ever comes out. I kind of want to sweep in here. So we put a road in like that. They're thinking about how are they going to get out is the first question, I suppose. So maybe what we do is we say this is the road out, and that sweeps in here. Just cut it off so we can get between these two. And we would end up with a little thing like that. And you just curve in there. And curve like that. That's a little in and out. Having the benefit of splitting up the traffic. Just going to build this in highways at the minute, I think. %26%. That's not a very good drop. Is that as good as we're going to get it, or what? It's very steep. A little bit. Is it really that high up here? Surprising. Just make this not elevated. And then a little trumpety bit. This feels again like it's going to be quite high. What's this going to be? Oh, it's only, no, it's was about to say it's not very steep, but it kind of is. Maybe we can finagle that with a bit of move it. And get rid of these elevated bits. Elevated key wall bits, that's the actual word I'm looking for. And we will move this way a little bit. Then we will fix that. That is decided to go squiffy. I would also like to break this even more by making this a little bit more round. If at all possible, game. I just like the fact that we have an extra node there. Interesting choices. Still got an extra node. Ugh. Just successfully making it ugly. Probably don't need to be paused anymore either. It is a little bit chunky. Let's get this all squared up, I think. There's one thing I want to do. So we're going to end up with some bus traffic and some parking traffic. And it's kind of odd that they're going to cut across here. And I definitely don't want buses trying to turn right into here if there's going to be traffic going out, for instance. Maybe it won't be an issue. Going out there and spinning around, so all the buses will be leaving that direction probably and coming back in that direction. But also have people coming in from out of town into here as well. Just having a little think. can't remember if that's got any upgrades. So you can have 10, can you? With a little office. You people come into that side. It's always kind of annoying that the buses and the people come in the same direction. Or do we build some at custom? And like we actually fix that for ourselves, like this end down here is where all the people are parking here, for instance, and then the buses are just up this side. Do we do that? What I'm thinking is, because it's kind of steep here, I'm gonna elevate this again. At the moment. Just flatten it for a sec. And we will do another little trumpety thing. Where we have a road coming in to the bus station there, which we can connect to. The fact that that's not lined up is kind of annoying, but that's because obviously I've turned off the snap-ins like that one. So that's our way in. I imagine the buses are coming in here and they can come back out again. How big is a bus depot? Ooh, not quite. Maybe we can adjust things a little bit. If we grab our upgrade. I'm just going to delete that road for a minute. I don't know how deep I want this to be. And we will grab our alley road for a sec. Do that. We'll grab our bus depot, which is not quite close enough. Okay. Also got to keep in mind how I want the buses to leave as well. Before I get too far into that, which is coming back up and up onto there. Maybe they could do it here instead. We have it separated. imagining with this is they would leave that way and then into this circuit. Get the 90s in, and then there would be another road for them to come across. Get the snapping back on again. Another road for the buses to come back across, but then they could also then pull into some stops like this. I kind of need to know what angle that is. What angle are we at? 122. This might be another little cut the path off. I'll nudge them around until I'm happy with them. Looks like that might be the final one that we get. So how many have we got? We've got 8. Katie, which Katie's that? That's Charlie Jumps. But we have a little kind of bus station-y type thing going on. Can we put in bus stops on here? Yes. I'm thinking, before I persevere with that with too much, that I want these little bits to be slightly longer. Not going to be this long, but this is just to give me the thing for the minute. Because what we're going to do, because they need to be a bit longer for a bus to pull in anyway, but that's kind of about as far as they can go there. That's a bit messy. Deleted it. There. have escaped the hateful place. Welcome in, Quarks. I am well, thank you, my dear. You think they give us some news about the DLC next week? Hopefully, I'm excited for it. I need to see some details. I'm desperate to see some screenshots at the very least. I'm well, thank you, Quark. I hope you're well. Hope you had a nice weekend. What do I want to do? Need to delete these out again. I have a plan in my head, which I'm not sure if I'm able to do. Yeah, new ports one with lots of. They've put achievements in that show that there's fishing and there's drawbridges and stuff, and I'm excited. I am excited. Perfect for my city. It's kind of the reason I started building this city, which is obviously having trouble with this again. Got another little traffic jam again. Who's causing it this time? Right, your bus route. Could your bus route go out the normal way, please? Could your bus route go out the normal way, please? A drawbridge for Quacker Island would be slay. We do need a new Quacker Island, I have to say. This city is missing a Quacker Island. Well, I'm intrigued to see what fishing looks like. Having never played Cities 1 with any expansions and stuff. There you go, that's working a little bit better. I have a plan here, which I'm not sure if it's going to work. Which is to find the right tab and to put in path that goes across. Try to get it at the right angle. Like that. And then we would go to the right tool. Thank you very much. I'm talking to myself. Gonna elevate these bitty bobs. This might be an entirely crazy idea. Have to make the breaks because they're breaking up for some holiday. Yeah, I think they're probably getting it out before the summer holiday, hopefully, and getting it all sorted and everything, which is a slightly risky thing in terms of dev to release something and then immediately go on holiday. But well, my plan here is that I would click on the right thing, but we would have the paths that come up to these bus stops underneath the platforms, and then people crossing the road won't get in front of the buses. That doesn't seem right, the game. Thank you. There to there. No, it doesn't also seem right, game. Do it like this. Probably needs to take into account the direction I'm doing this as well. Really? But then we would put bus stops along here. Like so. And then people will be able to walk in here. There's another bus stop there needed. And then we would put in a path into each of these things. That one's a little bit closer than I thought it was. Nudge it that way a little bit. And we put in another bus. Down there. Down there. This is going to be another bus hub on the opposite side of the city. Just to try and plan for when we get larger. So we've got this one here, and then we've got the other one over here. So we're going to do the same kind of thing with the car parks and everything. Because this one is just getting busier and busier. And I think splitting out some of this, some of the number of the people that are coming in here, and I'm probably going to add a subway into the actual island. So anybody who wants to just go from one end of the island to the other can just go on a subway, and then anybody who wants to get across can get on the right bus going either to this hub over here or to this hub over here and stuff. Because we keep getting these little issues with traffic in here now. And the hearse is not being able to get out. So we're building a northern hub, and I'm just building it by hand, something different. But we're going to have this hub here, and then all the parking is going to be on this end, possibly with some kind of entertainment shopping centre thing, perhaps. 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 I'm just clicking on different things. Not sure you needed to be elevated. But yeah, so then just need to get this coming out. With that, please. Nope, that's not what we wanted. So the buses then exit there. But then what we also need is the road for the lovely users of the bus to come in. Join up with this. So maybe that can be a key wall thing. There. Let's get a right angle, please. Maybe not. Get a right angle off here then, please. Ugh, I knew you were going to delete the entire thing. Stupid game. Right. And just want to delete that one little connection. Please. Little. Yeah. So that is for the main public traffic. This does no longer need to be elevated. Now that we know where we are going underneath. It just wants to be. Determined. And then we just nudge that way. And then fix all of this wibbliness it's just then created. Also gonna quickly put in a break there so that we can reduce this to be just like that. This is gonna get crazy, I just know it. So the corners are a little bit ugly now, which is upsetting. But yes, this is now our area for parking. That's not right. I need a connecting cam, please. There we go. And we're going to end up with... Do I want shoppage here or up here? You know, a little roundabout, which means we can put in that under there. Considering making that pedestrian. Potentially put little concourse shops along that bit. And we need to put power in here, so I'm wondering if we could put like that there. Which is obviously ugly, but it just feels like it is a building that needs to come in here and it helps define an area. And in terms of parking, what options do we have here? So we could just do the little alley things again. I'm wondering if we just do something slightly different. For the funsies. How very silly that you only have the option of parking on one side of the road, which is different to what it is in the picture. How odd. Presumably that's right-hand traffic then. Presumably that's what's going on there. Maybe we just do it the way we did the other ones. Which is actually we need a couple that are both directions, don't we? In order to let people get back out again. So if we upgrade this road here, like so, and then we put in like that, but then we need a road that is dual direction. I was wondering we did with that, and it's all a little bit wibbly wobbly. And just a little bit different to the other side of the city. What do we need to do? It's getting very close to there, but I think that should be okay. And this is where we now end up with a million crossings. But that is probably where we're going to end up with a break. A little bit less anarchy involved. There's a cat up to some mischief behind me. I can hear it. Yes, it's a penny nibbling on some plants. She thinks she's a panda. Yeah, so all those issues have gone away now, basically. It just requires a little bit of tinkering occasionally just to get it fix the issues. Tempted to do something that's slightly more considered than the other side. So we did end up with a few little annoyances. And I am wondering whether we need to have quite as much parking as on the other side for the minute. Or whether we can put in like these few little rows and then we add extra later on like we did. Just keep clicking on random tabs. My brain forgets where I'm supposed to be clicking on. There, and then we come into here and grab our alley. Okay, let's do one more. One more path, one more alleyway. Why is it now an invalid shape? Rude. Right, so that is that, and then I am going to put in this small pedestrian street. Or do we do a large one? No, we're going to do a small one this way. Like that. And that is where people get into our little shopping area that's going to be on here. And then we will use our big one. And we will just put in a little tiny grid. Hopefully a little bit straighter. Go straight through for a second. Just call that the back. And for the moment, that is going to be it. Let us hook into our power line. factory in here, which is right here, so it is good. You've not got electricity, have you not? Obviously. But we then have a little bus station. And then the other thing is to try and get people to be able to walk across into here, potentially. Looking around, that is very high up there, so that would be interesting to connect it to. Let's look at these highways anywhere high up, not particularly. Let us grab our industrial estate. Oh, yeah. What we need to do is put in another bus route here first. Actually, thinking quickly about it, we just need to upgrade. Can we upgrade these? No, we can't upgrade these to be buses only, that's fine. Probably should have thought about that before I drew it. You can't have... You can have that on there. Interesting. So let's do with what we've got. Let us put in a bus route. Don't want to be an adult, it means you have to do things like laundry. I'm sorry that you have to do laundry, Quark. But it means you get to have clothes. Nice clean clothes. Let us put in a route that goes around this to replace this industrial bit. I'm going to do the opposite way. Go be an adult. Thank you for coming around and saying hello. Have fun being an adult. And you're great. You are greaterest. You are the greaterest, Quark. That is my opinion. I'm so tired. So that's that. And then I wanted to put in just a little one that goes from there to there. Splits that up a little bit. And then we can delete that one. And then this one is our... let's call this the B100 evergreen end. Is it? What direction does this go? Anti-clockwise. Counterclockwise. It's kind of a bit tricky because it's kind of like a little bit of a figure eight, but B101 evergreen and CW. Make it green. And then the B200 industrial. Making an industrially colour. Just going to reduce the ticket price to 0. Going to reduce the number of people. Reduce the number of vehicles. Reduce the ticket price. Reduce the price. Reduce the number of vehicles. And hopefully we will start getting people in here. The other thing I want to do is we have an intercity route. Which is this one. Which comes all the way over here, does it? And into here. So, just randomly clicking on tabs. We are going to try and drag that into here instead. Are they not able to get in? Oh, silly me. I haven't given them a way out. They have to go all the way up there in order to get back out again. To go out that way. Silly me. Because this is the exit for the lovely public. Maybe that needs to move a tad. Not giving them a way out. Let's just pause a sec so it can appear by magic. Because who doesn't love roads appearing overnight? Must be 2 lanes, doesn't it? And then we upgrade that to be 3 lanes again. Stick a little bit of anarchy in. But then we can put in a little bus escape route. Which we will do by upgrading that to be 4 lanes now. Maybe that can just stay like that. And then we will have a sweep down the hill. Like 9%, that's not very nice. Might be able to faff with that bridge a little bit just to get it a nicer slope. Oh, it's the song that's on my t-shirt. We can probably get that to get reduced in height. Like something like that. That makes it feel a little bit better. There's a little bit of a conflict here, so we're interested to see how that goes. In fact, I'm not even going to give them that. Nobody should be coming this way to get into here. We ain't doing that. That we ain't doing it. You can have that. That is my concession for you guys. Or even is it? Nah. Surprised that doesn't turn. Oh, it does, it just doesn't show. Interesting. Let us get rid of a bunch of these. There's no point them trying to walk across Valley Street at the moment. Do the same on here. And then we will hook up. Well, we're not going to hook up, we're going to come into here. Try and get our zoning onto the right side. If I delete that, is it going to try and do something? It is. I knew you were going to do that. There we go. Zone it. Delete these. Hope that it doesn't do something crazy. We don't want it on here. If you do it, I'm just going to turn this into a highway or something. There we go. So you can unpause that and get some shops in. Lovely jubbly. Oh my god, we can be going for an hour and a half already. There's another thing I wanted to do, make sure we don't have these crossings. See how well that gets used. We're at 38,000 at the minute, which is great. So the next giant job that I wanted to do is getting the possibly putting a subway in for the first time ever. Where are you off to? You're not a bus. Oh, you're just going to park there. Ew. I hate that. Ew, I hate the fact that you've just parked up there. Still doing okay for stuff. We've got issues with the mail. This is all cleared up. This was a full up yesterday. Not yesterday, Friday. I am surprised. How are our new bus routes looking? They're being used. Did I name this the wrong thing? Yes, it's Eastgate Park. Not Evergreen End. Reverse Gate Park. Eastgate Park. What colour are they in the main city? They are green. So shall we plan out where we could put a subway? We have to figure out where we can put in stations and stuff, but first we need this. Where is the logical place for a subway to get into this city? I feel like this is probably going to make sense up here. So what have we got? We want a route on this side. A road on this side. Shall we put that somewhere like that? And that's got a little extra building to go on it. Snap it on the side. Potentially put that on the opposite side of the road. Can you see how steep that is? It's only 13%. Nice little steep hill. Nice little steep hill. It looks a little bit better. Then we need to get this into the city. But I'm very intrigued about elevated subway stations. Because again, never really done them. Never really built subways. You're gonna destroy buildings when I put you in, aren't you? I do feel like an elevated one would be fun. Because we could do something really fun and really cool. It's just about how we can get it into the stuff that we've already built without destroying anything. About to see what you're happy with it being there. It might have to be an underground one, to be fair. To be fair, because these are very large. Because it would be fun to put like one there. Apparently I'm overlapping summit. But it's how we then get it to loop around the city. This city is kind of like tiny, weeny little bit based on Liverpool. And Liverpool did used to have an overhead railway at one point on the Docklands and stuff. So if we were coming back here, we'd have to go along this road, really. It's kind of crazy. Huge city. Corner theatre. That was odd. Yeah, they are not happy. Put a roundabout in, has it? I don't want a roundabout. Yeah, this may be just a little bit too crazy for what we've already got. If you put it there, it's moaning about needing a road, and it's got a road. Is it because it's on a key wall, so that's not possible? No, I'm not sure it's possible, folks. I'm not sure it's possible to sneak one in. I think we might just have to go with little underground ones. Looking for a plot that goes the right direction. See that? It just fits in perfectly, so. This area is kind of filled up, so it's tricky to squeeze one in. Ideally, it should be somewhere around here-ish. What have we got there? Just a little park and the bridge. It's kind of perfect to go there, though, isn't it? Why did you demolish that building? Crazy game. Let's get that pulled down a tad. so that we can put in a just a really steep little ugly bridge. What was there? Just a medium density one, hopefully. Right, next stop in here somewhere. Got these parks outside the school. Might be a good place. We can get rid of this park easy enough. This little plaza I built. Nice little bit of extra detailing straight away. And then into here. Probably get a couple in here. One, and then these are going to be quite close together if we put one in here. Which isn't the end of the world. Where would we put a subway stop? Should really be on this main road. I think people will be a bit upset with how noisy it would be. Got the uni up here. That's probably it, to be fair. To go underground. So we've got one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. You hate that regular traffic uses put lanes? Me too, buddy. I am in agreement. They do need to fix that. It's the whole...
A rapturous riot of flavour. Succulent filling, creamy sauce. All wrapped up in the flakiest of flaky pastries. In one or both hands.
Hey Kitty, thank you for claiming your daily sausage roll. Please enjoy the one or both hands. How are you, my love? They do need to fix that. It's the whole thing in there in order to allow them to like make decisions and stuff, and it's just stupid. Like, oh, I'm going to make a decision to go this way. No, just do as I tell you. I mean, a special motorway system for buses, turn it on and every punches use it. Ugh, horrible, hateful. How are you? I'm okay, thank you, kitty. I'm sleepy. What does I'm mean? Am we not allowed to connect in here? You're still winning the sausage board. Don't worry. Yeah, I hate when people use the bus lanes. You go, what is even the point? As somebody who in real life has been fined for driving in a bus lane, I find it stupid. Lurk, thank you for the lurk, kitty. Bus rapid transit is not really possible in the game at this point. That is awful. That's horrible. Should at the very least be like, if they wanted to give people the free will to do the wrong thing, they should have at least given you an override in order to say, no, don't allow them to do that. Even a district policy, city policy or something. Just like, how angry do you want to get with people? Very angry, please. Thank you. I can't get this to connect. Not the easiest thing to see underwater. I wonder if it's just because the terrain under here is too deep or something. Not that I can see through the water. And we have an interview with Michael when he said, you know, you can drive in a bus lanes for 50 quid. Yeah. I got fined 60 quid for accidentally turning into a bus lane for like 1 metre. But yeah, a lot of the issues with the game is just not being able to control stuff, in my opinion. Getting stuck in the box junction, 60 quid, yeah. Very silly. Like this. This is also very silly. You're building a tunnel, are you? Is that what you're doing? You just be underground. I just want you to be underground. I don't want you to be building tunnels. We may need to go deeper, guys. That's probably what's happening. Let's go to 30 meters for this tiny little section. Remember, kids, never enter a box junction unless your exit is clear. Exactly. Exactly. But you think that you're going to be able to get out of it, and then the person in front of you decides to stop, and you're like, you could have made it out. Why are we now stopping? Why are we now not connecting? Deep are we here? Somehow we've ended up 40 meters down. I think we've got our loop in there. That's the loop, and now we just have to get there. And pause, because I just paused it to fix those buildings up ages ago. Now, let us be good and let us buy this tile. And we will put in a little subway tunnel thing. I'm thinking if we drop that down and kind of flatten that bit. And we can kind of like bring our subway line down here and sweep under the highway and then go under the water. So we will say that this level terrain here should come out onto this side now. And let's come this way a tad. And then look at our slopey dopey. And let's come all the way up to here. Subway line above ground, please. We will come straight there. Please do not connect to anything. Please do not pass go. got this main route here. You go boop, 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 and boop. And then we will grab... Interesting. We will grab this one. Have they really not got a double runway? Oddness. Boop, boop, and boop. Let's do it like this. Let's go to there, to there, to there. Not sure that's how train lines work. That's just funny. Still trying to do crazy things. Maybe we're just connecting up here instead then. Where can I get you to go so you don't try and do anything crazy? It's there. And you want to be able to get into this car park, do you? There we go. Right, so now we can just put in side are we on? Clockwise on the inside, do we think? For no reason. Clockwise on the inside. Anti-clockwise on the outside. They're crossing over. Might have to switch them around. Might have to switch them round. Yeah, let's just do it on the right stops would probably make sense. So complete the route, but we are then gonna go underground and hide that one. And we're going to switch it around so that we're not crossing over. Apparently that's a thing. Kind of just thought that the tracks would switch depending on which way the things were going, but obviously it's probably doing the whole left on traffic thing. Do the presumably the trains switch depending on American view versus European, or not that, but versus left hand versus right hand traffic. Thoughts, questions. turn them both on, did I? Yes. Why are you both back on again? So that is correct now. And the other one is also got 5 stops, so let's just switch that back again just to make sure I haven't mucked anything up. Indeedy doody. And I haven't hooked it up yet, have I? Silly me, I didn't put my bridge in. Always click onto the wrong thingy bobber. And then that's connected up. We should be able to see some stuff going out if we go above ground. It's all connected, isn't it? It is. Why are we not seeing stuff going out then? You're saying you're not connected. You look connected. that is two-way. That one is connected. This is why I don't like doing subways. Just demolished that bit for no reason. Still moaning that you don't have any connection. But you definitely do. And the roots are going all the way around. This isn't one way, is it? Or is it? Is it going to be really annoying? Yeah, it is. Or is it? Or is it? Or isn't it? Or is it? Or is it? Or isn't it? Or is it? Don't mind me, I'm just doing something crazy. No. I didn't think that would do anything. That's why it looks awful, because I didn't think it was actually going to do much. Why are you not connected? I'm gonna disappear for a second, just in the loo, but I will be back. It's not magically fixed itself. How rude. You would hope that it would just work. I will also now try grabbing this. It breaks here. Okay. So what we will do no, it doesn't want to do anything. So how far are you getting now? You're getting all the way up to the top. I think you're just being silly. I'm confused, chat. I am confusion. What about this route? See, that goes all the way up to the... So there's definitely things they can connect to. And this is all powered up. No track connection. I know it's got no track connection because there's like lots of... It's got lots of things. I had them connected and then I disconnected them because you were being stupid. I am confusion. Oh yeah, they bulldoze that. going to build it again? Not with anarchy on, thank you. What are we overlapping? A power line, presumably. Ooh, yay! Yay, it worked. There we go. There we go. Clearly this is not quite as popular, but they are using it. I dislike that these buildings have car park outside, so we're going to switch these to be the Japanese ones. Is that broken again? No. It's just being silly. Just want you to fill the entire thing in. We got a signature commercial building we could put in here as well. Like the Canopy Cafe. Like the Canopy Cafe. Invalid shape. What makes the shape invalid, I wonder? That means it's the Rainforest Cafe, is that what's going on? So we now have our subway going. CCW. Is it the CCW? No, that's the clockwise one. Got 600 passengers already. I feel like that is going to be popular. Maybe relieve a little bit of the stress on the buses. Can see a few little symbols popping up. Which usually means there might be an issue, but doesn't seem to be. We're using 60 of 75 Okay, taxis, that's the word. Right, so we've got a bit of infrastructure sorted. And the next thing I wanted to do then is come back in here and start filling in some of these extra gaps that we've got with our medium density. Let's pop a little low rent housing. Other little high rises, just no, not gonna zone in there. Did I just put that? Yeah, I did entirely the wrong thing. I just put more high density in. I've put all the high density buildings in that I want to put in. We're going to put in medium density now. Let's unzone that a sec. Lots of little thingies flashing up again. We're using all of our vehicles from over there. We're using all of our vehicles from over here. Don't think we can actually get any more. I think we should probably do the same as we have over there though, but we could add in some more into this area. And potentially sneak in a little crematorium into this area. It's a bit weird that the player would have to go through the maybe we need to add in an extra little cut across like that. Which obviously isn't the most pretty thing, but just is what it is. Maybe we just also reduce that to being like that, and it just makes a bit more sense. Imagine going to get a bus and a hearse comes through the bus stop. That'd be an experience. 39,000 and 1,000 people on the subway now. 3,000 people on the trains. Hey Charlie. Hey Charlie cat. Yeah. Pop in some more low rent housing. Demand for offices, so we are going to upgrade a couple of these offices to be big ones. It's always funny that when you put things in Anarchy, what it decides is then connected. And keep an eye on the schools, because we're going to end up with folks wanting to go to school. Ew, stop parking here. I'm gonna have to redraw some of this using our bus line stuff in order to try and stop people from parking on these roads or whatever. Which is hateful. And upsetting. And if I do this carefully, then hopefully we won't lose anything important. So we can't have bus shelters on these roads for some reason. Don't like that. You're gonna have to put up with not having a bus shelter. Sorry, gang. Wait. Is it because it stuck it onto the... Surprise cough. I think that's just wrong. I really don't like the colour that it does this, but oh well. I just don't want people parking here. We don't have a bus stop in there, that's fine, so we can be a little bit more aggressive on those bits. Let us quickly demolish all these ones. Because they haven't got anything connected to them yet, so it is a bit safer to be demolishing them. Then we can get rid of all these extra crossings. Why we've now got 2 on each one, I don't know. There we go. Lost our power apparently, because apparently these roads don't have power? Ugh. How do they not have power? It's crazy. Not being able to connect directly to a building is annoying. Can we use our upgradey thing on there? So that's at least sorted the power out. But we may need to change these roads there anyway, in order to actually try and fix the water. Because it's classing them as highways. Boring. Yeah, I knew you were going to park there. This is my other option. It's all fun, isn't it? looks wonky. Yes, the path to the parking's on the back. Please try again, folks. How is this section looking? Ooh, traffic. There's all these people moving in. May need to get rid of some of this parking because we don't want people parking in this area. I'm wondering, we have a bus route coming through here. Somewhere, Eastgate Harbour. This blue one that comes in here and bobbles around and then disappears back out again. I'm wondering if we can get another one put in from our new bus station. That stops on the wrong side of the road apparently. They're all on the wrong side of the road apparently. That in itself is a crazy thing. because really this is not designed for this many people coming in here. Keep them coming through. There are other places for people to cross. But a little bit of moving in traffic is not an issue. Just gonna get those numbers lined up with the bonk. I'm lined up with my other bus station numbers. Where are you going? Eastgate Park. The Winchelsea one is popular. People are definitely using these to get into the city. Where are we at? 38. 2,000 people on the subway. People starting to park in the car park. We'd love to see it. We love to see it. What's going on here now? Just people getting confused. I might sneak in an extra little bus stop on there and maybe one on the way out. A couple of extra laneage. Should this have traffic lights on it? Yeah, all that traffic has now gone anyway because everybody's moved in. And there's a penny cat coming along. Having a little sniff, gonna cause some mischief. We got people coming and parking. It's what we love to see. This is actually filling up, which is nice. Still got issues with that though. A little bit limited in what we can do here. pop in a little park. Just as a nice little entrancey bit to the bus station. Why are y'all getting stuck? Are you trying to turn into there? You are? Do we reckon? Them having to do that is a bit messy. Can we do that? Lots of taxis coming in here. Better places to be brought across. I feel like this is about to clear up. So we'll just have a little watch for a minute. You know what we should have? We should have another bridge across here. Right, there's literally nobody coming this way now. Yeah, it's cleared up. As I thought it would. It's all clear. It's fine. It is fine. It's 12 o'clock. I need to finish. Gotta go get a barbecue. Yeah. So we did a thing today, guys. We did things. Look at all these people. Where are you all going? Eastgate Harbour. That's why it's cleared up, because everybody's getting on the bus. let us see if we can find somebody to raid. Haven't saved the entire stream. Not really anybody in cities. So we'll just raid Lee, shall we? We'll just raid Lee. We're gonna raid the lovely Limalo because obviously who is just chilling. They're just doing their Sunday shash. There's no vibes, no plans, just jumpins. But I will be back on Friday. We'll be doing some more of this city. We'll be getting it bigger and better in prep for the DLC. But thank you everybody for being here. Just looking at my camera going, yeah, it's me. But thank you very much everybody. Thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you for just kind of vibing whilst you play on your other screen. I hope your city's going well, my dear. Hope Manhattan is going well. But I will be back on Friday. More cities, more fans. I'm going to eat too much food at a barbecue. I love you. Bye bye.